Let's speak about the fight, Tony. Did it go as you hoped it would, or did it last a wee bit longer?
It went the way I thought it would go. Well, you know, I said, you know, he's going to come out on fire them first 2 rounds. As he predicted, well, he did predict in the build-up he was going to, you know, comatose me in 2 rounds. How I was going to be, this would be my last ever fight registered with the Boxing Board of Control. And what makes me laugh is the only one who went to hospital was him. I did many days later, but that was just for my hand. I was happy, to be honest, as, you know, he's a brilliant fighter, but people are trying to, you know, take away the glory of my win by saying, oh, he was a man with one leg, this and that. But what people are failing to remember is this guy threw the kitchen sink at me and everything he had for the first 4 rounds. And he was only going downhill from them 4 rounds.
Is that a bit of respect at the end there, Tony?
It's respect to a certain extent, as yet. You know, I've always respected him as an athlete. He's a fantastic athlete. He's a brilliant boxer. I just don't like him as a human being. He's not a nice guy, mate. He really isn't. And the way he's acting now and portraying himself, he's a bit of a fraud.
What was this like?
Not nice at all.
Was that harder than the fight, getting in there?
I wouldn't go that far. You know, it was worth it. Speaking to the coach there after the fight, you know, once I'd been into the recovery chamber, it was great. And, you know, just resembling, you know, talking about what we'd done on the night and how it went. I'm just happy. I'm happy it came to light. Because, listen, I was wrote off by the world. And you know what, looking back, I can't really blame them, because you look at what this guy's done and how he actually aesthetically looks. He looks fantastic. He's got every muscle in the book. But I'm someone who says, I don't train to look good. I train to be able to fight. And if there's one thing I know in this world, I'm not the brightest, I'm not the cleverest, but I know boxing like the back of my hand. I know the game inside out. And I knew what it'd take to beat him. And I knew what the tactics I had to employ to do it. And I'd done it to a T. So happy. And the story goes on for now.
You've played football in some terrific atmospheres over the years, Snods. What was it like there at the O2? Because you were quite close to the ring, weren't you?
Incredible. About 5 rows from the ring. And they were that close at one bit. I was ready to put Tony's gum shield in at one stage. But no, we had fantastic seats. But really, I know nothing about boxing. I love me boxing. I've loved it all my life. But I really don't know anything about it. And I'm off in the second and third. I'm shouting as loud as I could, "Get off the ropes, Tony!" And I'm thinking, Ian, what are you on about? He knows what he's doing. He's in there, and I'm shouting, "Get off the ropes!" And then the 7th round, when he's got I didn't realise he'd done his leg, and I didn't care. And I don't think you do as a sportsman. If somebody's injured, if you get 2 players sent off and you're playing against 9 men at football, all you want to do is beat them 9 men. So I can see Tony's like focused on one thing, winning, no matter how injured your opponent is. And I were the same. In the 7th, I'm going, "Go on, Tone, go on, go on." And then somebody said he's injured. I don't care if he's injured. I just want him to win, kind of thing.
I didn't know, to be fair. I didn't know it was the Achilles when we were in the fight. I just thought he looked like he was gassing and falling apart. He was falling apart from the 4th round onwards, in my opinion. At the end of the 5th round, if you look back, I say something to him, and the words out of my mouth was, "You're blowing. You are gassing." And he just shook his head at me in disbelief, because, and he said it in the fight afterwards himself, he couldn't believe I took what he could dish out. And I knew what it would take to beat him. I've studied him my whole career. I've actually looked up to him, because he'd done everything I wanted to do before I've had the chance to do it. And you know, going in there that night, I knew what I had to do. I had to make him miss by small margins. I had to make him miss and then pay as the fight went on. And then eventually I had to make the fight physical. Everybody laughed at me in the preparation for sparring with the likes of Derek Chisora, Dorset Barnwell, and a highly ranked American fighter, because they said he wasn't the same style as David Haye. I had a cruiserweight who was very fast over there as well, that I didn't take pictures with, that I didn't show I was sparring. Another powerful guy. I mixed all the sparring partners up. And each sparring partner replicated that fight to a T at the times I needed them. So, you know, Derek Chisora was in with me for the last 5 rounds of the spar, and he was fresh and I was supposed to be tired. And let me tell you, there was only one man going backwards when we started sparring, and it wasn't me. Dell's a friend of mine, but I don't play around when it comes to sparring and when it comes to camp and time to prepare. It went the way I needed it to, Daz, and, you know, I'm happy. I've now beaten an elite fighter in David Haye, and people can say whatever they want about him having one leg or whatever. I had one hand from the 2nd round onwards, but I don't complain. I just keep throwing it. Pain is just a feeling. It's just an emotion, and I can get through anything I possibly want as long as my mind's right. And on that night, at that moment, my mind was right. And if we do it again, I'll do it all. I'll show the world once again, against all the odds, the fat boy will come good.
Tony, is it right as well that you said to him, "Stop"? stop, and then turned to his corner as
I
well.
I hit him with the combination in the 11th that sent him back to the ropes. It was a short left hook, and I said to him, "Stop, David. I'm going to give you the chance to stop." And he tapped his chest, said, "Come on." And then I looked at Shane and I said, "Shane, stop." And he just shook his head. And then I went in, right hand on the side of the head, which made his right leg collapse, a left hook, which made him just fall through the ropes. So I didn't push him through the ropes like some people are saying. Like I say, these people are trying to take your glory or whatever. The fact of the matter is the left hook put him through the ropes. He was just completely gone. And when I went and consoled him after the fight, a good 20, 30 seconds later, I carried him. I carried the whole 16 stone to his corner to help him.